This is complete. It's something that belongs to science. It's not a trick. I really can't take this out on the street. Not to test. Welcome back to Vchannel. Like the title, you can see, this is a very sensitive topic. There's actually a lot of scam clips on YouTube. They said they could build a camera. You can see through clothes, or install an app that can see through clothes. It should be to avoid. I'm with those people. Then, I'm going to analyze the mechanics of what makes a camera. You can see through clothes. As you can see in the intro, this is a camera that can see through clothes. It's really not a scam. So, my view of the system would be something like this, guys. It's like a spectrum chart. The light you see here, the human eye can see. It's called light, visible. It's going to be at wavelengths from 380 to 760 nanometers. The further to the left, the shorter the wavelength. It's called UV, short for angel violet. And the further to the right, the longer the wavelength. It's called IR. Infrared area. Our human eyes can see. It'll be around here. UV is the eye-damaging rays that darken the skin. That we use eyeglasses or use that UV-resistant sunscreen. And infrared is the application in the common remote. You guys are using it. Remote TV air conditioning fan and so on. And this infrared region of light is, we can't see it. It's out of the light. It's visible outside of our lungs. Then you can see it. We don't see it. And especially, infrared light it can. It can penetrate through clothes. It can penetrate through fabric, through objects that are not too thick. Let me show you the remote. Here we put the cloth in front of us. We can still control the air conditioning. It can go through. Then, the light ranges from 380 to 760 Newton meters. Then it's going to be blocked by this fabric. But the infrared tree, with operating wavelengths from 760 nanometers up to 1 millimeter, it can go through the fabric. We're going to use that feature to be able to make a see-through camera. I first analyzed the mechanism clearly. Most of them will recreate the images that our eyes see, so it won't see either, or seeing very little of this infrared. There are a few special cameras, such as the Sony camcorder. It's rare like this. It has a very wide spectrum. It can be obtained. The spectrum resolution of infrared is very wide. This is a very old Sony camera. Sony DSC F707 and the Sony F717 are the same. Here are a few cameras. It's rare for a reason. The first is that it's ancient. It's been recalled due to a design error by Sony. At that stage, it's caused a lot of damage to Sony. It's been recalled, but actually, it's impossible to summon them. And here's a design flaw in my hand. That's the nightshift function. It works right in the infrared spectrum. So in some ways, this camera can see through clothes. It also caused Sony a lot of pain. This is a very old camera for you. At the present time, it's also a little hard to buy. The machines work just as well as this. I've been watching this camera for almost 2 years. Contact the ones you specialize in to collect ancient Japanese machines. New can be purchased. Most of them no longer work because these machines are 20 or 35 years old. This F707 was produced in 2002. Over 20 years. There are 9 years of life. It's very good. Carl Zeisland's brothers. It looks very crappy. There are only 5 megapixels. It's 25, but you can see it's very solid. It's very high quality. Let me show you a little bit about this camera. We have a battery tray here. Here's the version, guys. And here's the charger. Inside is a memory card. It was made in a good photo. The memory card is only 128 megabytes. It's still very strong, very high quality. That's the button. There is also electronic viewfinder. In the past, it was also a kind of masterpiece. I have an electronic viewfinder. Here we will port the audio-video out, and this is a direct plug. Then we can adjust the angle. It's very good. It's always tough, guys. It can be turned up like that. Very good feeling. The zoom is very quiet. You see, the zoom is completely silent. And especially it will have night soft function. Turn on this night shot function. The picture will go back to black and white, folks. But it will work. It's the infrared wavelength range. That's the sequence we need. We take advantage of this feature. When you turn it on, it's this camera. It doesn't work in the normal wavelength range. Light range, the vision that our eyes can see. It's going to work right in the infrared wavelength range, from 760 nanometers up to 1 millimeter. There are other cameras on the market. As you can see, there is also a light shop function. And the cameras, security, It still works in the infrared range. That's why you see the security cameras. It's going to have an infrared beam in front of it, and when you activate the night mode, so the picture is just a black and white picture. There is no color, but there is a problem. It's not as wide as these cameras. These cameras are rare. The spectrum of its activity, it's very wide, and it's spread out at almost all wavelengths. Infrared spectrum. This camera is a bit rare, and it's very cheap. You guys have millions too. And the next one we need, that's the infrared filter. Infrared light filter. This filter is not for sale in Vietnam. I have to buy it from Lazada. In a foreign country, for 135,000, always shipping fee is for 157,000. It's almost half as expensive as this machine. Then we'll have a filter. From the outside, it looks black like this. It's very black. We can't see anything. So this is a very special infrared filter. Then there's two things we need in 3. That's the infrared light. This infrared light is cheap, guys. It's only 2,500. Here we will. There are infrared diode. This lamp, it's used to illuminate those night vision cameras. Then I bought another one, so that it can be attached to the Wholesale of the machine. The purpose is, it creates an enormous amount of infrared light, always in front. It's going to plug in this jack. This lamp will use 12 volts DC power. If you had a head to attach to this jack. Okay, and I don't have a head. I'm going to cut this rope. I'll tell the battery. But this infrared light, there will be a light coming back. It's going to make this infrared light. It only works when there's no light. I want to turn it on now. We've got to cover the light back. It just works. Here we go, brothers. We will have a back. Now I'm going to take black glue and glue this mandarin back. After removing this lens, then we'll have it. Here are a few infrared diode. Then we remove and review infrared light as well. Here below we will be there. Face like that. The company has 200,000, but this case is cast iron. Also very good quality. Here we have this circuit. It's close to here. And this is the sensor. LED down. Light sensors, where you guys go back there. Let it control. Out of these for infrared diode. So now I'm going to power it up. It's a little red. That's this infrared light. Let's turn off the lights and see more clearly. It's plugged in. I see it's lit up. So it emits infrared rays. So we only see a slight reddish glow. Then the camera's mechanism sees through us. It's instead of normal light. We see it. It's coming to the cloth. It's bouncing back, or it's absorbed. So this infrared ray will go through the fabric. And then it turns back on this camera, and it records. Then we can see it. What's under that cloth? Now I'm going to put on a tripod to try it on. I write 50 if we do not attach this filter. It will only be white. You've got to go through this filter and get up here now. We'll attach an infrared filter to Ha. And this is our infrared light. This is the battery I'm going to put in here. It's a little cumbersome. Then plug it in. You will see that it is pink and red. The infrared light that we're working on. So here we go. Guys, this is what we got. Are you seeing what you're seeing? It's on our camera. And here it is. We see it very clearly. The details are always Ha, and the brand is always here. I'll try another one for you. Have you seen this? So this is absolutely what science is all about. It's not a trick. I really can't take this out on the street. Not to test. Come here. Do you see the results we have? Here, have you seen his picture? And something we're going to try next. Do you see it? Thank you guys for following the clip. Bye and see you later.